So why did I begin to do YouTube contents and YouTube videos to begin with? That's the question that I'm pondering upon for this video. So to understand my primary intention and motivation, I have to touch a bit on the core of my life goal, right? The goal in my life that I have. I really want to achieve something before I die. And that's something, that goal, that big goal, demand from me that I do certain things, that I complete or attempt to complete certain things in life. And that is directly or indirectly related to, what we are doing right now. So basically, there are three main commitment that I have committed myself to, that is as a result of this goal in my life. So again, there are three main commitment category. The second one is what I'm having as my 8 to 5 job. It is this work as a lecturer, as an academician in this university, where I teach some class, I have to do some research, actually I have to produce some research paper, etc. All the things encompassed as the life of a lecturer and academician in this university or in this country. Now this job is what I categorize as my second level commitment. Why? Because it serves two main purposes. One is to provide for myself and my wife and kids and my family, right? So that's number one. That is important because without completing or committing to this, I will fail in my ultimate goal. That goal, that life goal that I have, is directly demanding. In Islam, you know about the nafkah, right? Your wife, your spouse, your children, your kids, etc. You have the responsibility of fulfilling the nafkah to them, right? So if you fail to do that, you will fail in that goal as a Muslim, right? You will fail as a Muslim. So I have to fulfill that, and this work, provide for that. That's number one. Number two, it also provide financially, of course. It provide for my first level of commitment. And with that, we go to the first level of commitment. The outcome of this, or the practical aspect of this, is what many people would see in real life, my involvement in a certain NGO. For those who just see this as a lens of a human, it's my work in an NGO, my NGO work, right? Voluntary work. But for me, it is my commitment as part of my life goal, right? To fulfill my purpose in life. This is the first level of my commitment, where most of my nights, most of my weekends is allocated for this, right? So this is first tier or first level of commitment. So we have that first one, and then that already make me a busy man, that first tier, right? And then the second tier is my 9 to 5 job. Of course, it occupy the rest of my time. And then the third level of my commitment that I have put onto myself as well is things like this. It is an additional work that I think, that I see, have a potentially huge ROI, or return on investment, that will provide for me to fulfill my purpose in life. The potential is huge here, right? For example, your online presence, if you do it right, if you provide the right content, if you provide the right values, and it is affecting other people's life, it can become a huge benefit to fulfill your purpose in life. So what's the problem then? Well, the dilemma now is, when now the circumstances is something like the first level of commitment actually reaching a point where it demands a lot, time-wise especially. Time-wise, energy-wise, it's always demand a lot, but time-wise it becomes more and more complicated here. So it becomes a new challenge in terms of how to maneuver life, the scheduling of your life and your family and your spouse and your kids around the demand of this, right? So that's number one. And number two, this okay, to put in perspective, right? To put in context, because my view of this, the second level of commitment here, is just as long as it can provide for my life, my wife's life, my kids' life. That fulfill part of it. And because we try to live, we avoid, how to say, luxurious lifestyle, etc. We avoid all of those, so we keep it, you know, at bare minimum as possible as it can. That's number one. And number two, as long as, because the demand from the first tier to be supported financially by second tier commitment here, previously it is enough. So I have never had such a big ambition in this commitment in my job. As long as I can commit to this job and until the end, inshallah everything will be fine, right? However, things change, kids grow up. I realize, oh my god, the financial commitment actually changes, and you know, cost of living, etc., it increases. So with the new circumstances, suddenly I have to take a look, you know, more seriously how I deal with, you know, this commitment, the level of work that I need to complete, or the KPIs, etc. That previously, whatever you fulfill or not fulfill KPI, as long as I meet a certain, you know, requirement that I can still have the job, I'm happy. Right now I have to rethink, and all of those, you know, it requires some time to fulfill certain things that I have been neglecting for years. So yeah, that is the circumstances, which as a result make it much harder for me to allocate time for the third commitment, which is partially, you know, doing videos to talk to you and any other audience, right? To talk to the world, anyone who is willing to click on my videos, you know, hopefully trying to provide any value. So that commitment now becomes a, you know, to just to keep on, you know, at the same level as before would require much more sacrifice. That's the dilemma right now, and I'm pondering how to maneuver and way forward, intention wise, because it have potentially huge ROI. That's why I begin in the first place, and that's why I hope I can do, and I can do it until the end. But of course, when the resources, in this case the time resources, is, you know, finite, it is limited, you have to allocate and prioritize. So what's your next move? So that's the question. And in the next video, I think I will touch upon, you know, the grind that I have committed myself for this, you know, task, for the task number 3, for 2 years plus minus, I think, before. And what's next? Because I thought that is already like such a difficult commitment that I have put onto myself, you know, have to eliminate 1 or 2 hours of sleep every night for the 2 years, etc. I thought that would work, but now it requires more, not more hours for this, but because those 2 hours of, you know, less sleep is now required by the higher tier, you know, commitment. So pushing it that, so to commit to the same amount for this would mean that now it's 3 hours less of sleep or something. That's in the next video. Thank you for watching. Feel free to comment anything, perhaps. I'm not saying that my time management, etc., is already tip top. That is also part of the reason why it's very difficult to manage all of this. Yeah, if it is interesting to talk about this, because normally I imagine a total stranger to hear this, and it's just purely on, you know, what I said. But if you know me personally, and then you say that, oh, he's become like that because his time management is so poor exactly, for etc., for example, right? It can open up to a whole different discussion. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.